harmonics. Oh yeah, we are connected anywhere, anywhere. Let me plug into the system so I can finally feel you. I got neon dreams tonight, neon dreams tonight, oh, neon dreams tonight. Yeah, I got neon dreams tonight, neon dreams tonight, oh, neon dreams tonight. I got neon dreams tonight, neon dreams tonight, oh, neon dreams tonight. I got neon dreams tonight, neon dreams tonight, oh, neon dreams tonight. Sexy robot, come on and love me too. Sexy robot, come on and love me. You're my sexy lover, come and love me. You're my sexy robot, come on and love me too. Sexy robot, come on and love me. Sexy robot, come on and love me too. Come on and love me.
Microphone check. Oh yeah. Welcome to Club. The music is nice. Welcome to Club Shada episode number 138. That's a lot. 138, that's a lot. Wait a minute. No, don't mind me. Okay, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I want the sound of the music. Why is it so low in my headphones all of a sudden? Who cares? As long as it's fine for you, it's fine by me. I hope everybody's I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope everybody's in good spirits. I'm very fine. This show is brought to you by ShadaWare.com and the Gods of Good Fortune. I want to acknowledge and say welcome to all the new subscribers like Jazz Garcel Sings, Ordelio, Wanda, Denis, Solène, Laetitia, Ategua, etc., etc. Your names are here. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this universe. Make yourself at home, whether you're here for Club Shada, whether you're here to watch a music video, whether you're here to watch some vlogs or some music studio session. That's the beauty about the content of nowadays. You just put it out there and people do what they want with it. So I hope everybody is doing great. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I just came back from the airport because I just dropped my son. He's returning to Angola to start his school year, and so those are things where you like on the phone with his mom, and at the same time making sure that, I mean, he's been traveling alone since he was 7, back and forth between us. But yeah, a mother doesn't realize that her son he's 18 already. So you have to make sure that everything is fine. And he's like, "What's wrong with you guys?" So yeah, I just left him at the airport. His flight departed at his flight departed around 45 minutes ago. And yeah, listen, it was amazing to have him for 2 months. That was great, especially after not seeing him for a year and a half. It was great. Yeah, listen, we spent some great times, and I can't wait to see if he's gonna spend Christmas with us or with his mom. Up to everybody to decide. We have time. So now that my daughter is going back to school, my son is going back to school, I'm gonna concentrate on finishing this album to release it around October or November. And yeah, I'm still wondering if I'm gonna do 40 or 50 songs. If I do, I mean, in terms of the number of tracks that I have that are unreleased, those are going out. But it's more how many tracks that are already released as singles do I add? Do I do a 40 like 4 years ago, or do I do a 50? To me, I don't care. It doesn't change nothing for me. I will put these songs in another project anyway. So Kizomba compilation, whatever. We'll see. It's just gonna be like I just want to finish everything that is audio so that I can really start taking care of everything that is cover art, promotion, YouTube videos, all that stuff. So the good thing is, because I have a lot of songs that are already released, I will not have to re-upload them to YouTube. I will just put them in a playlist. Because damn. I want to take the time to acknowledge and for the month of September, our stream royalty is a queen. Sirène des Îles. Sirène des Îles is our stream royalty for the month of September, for now, until somebody tops up the $8 donation. So thank you so much, Sirène des Îles, for your support, and thanks to all the sponsors as well for your continued support. Thank you so much for supporting this show. Donations are like fuel. Those are the reason why, those shows keep going. If not, you're like, let me do something else. But yeah, he's great. it's amazing. Thank you so much, Sirène des Îles, for supporting the show, and everybody that ever supported the show. So whoever wants to take her place, yeah, it's gonna cost you $10. Master Electronic, what up, brother? I hope you are great. How are you? Lil Maro, what it do? I'm gonna talk about that subject we talked about. What it up? What is it? What it do? Irvin, I hope you're great. Hello, Jujuzan. Comment ça va? I hope things are going better on your ongoing case. La milliardaire, hello. What's good? Yeah, c'est vrai, ça faisait longtemps. Yeah, you're right. Mountain of Inspiration. Congrats on going live twice. 2 times in a row. I like it. 2 days in a row. What's good, Yakuba? On va bien. What up, Eve? What's good? Sips, what's good? Long time. I hope you're doing great. So, in terms of interesting news, don't forget that we have a brand new. Don't forget we have a brand new single that came out, and actually it came out as 2 singles because I had so many remixes that I had to cut them in 2. So we will have a listening session of those singles Wednesday. So it's the brand new singles. I got 2 singles. So you got BBMM remixes. We have 9 remixes. And you also have BBMM more remixes, where you have 7 remixes. You have another 8 remixes. So yeah, we will do a whole listening session, but I didn't want to do 2 listening sessions in a row because I've released 2 remix singles in a row. So this is what is out right now. So please go ahead on the platforms and check those remixes. They are amazing. And next episode 139, we will do the remix listening party. Is gonna be dope. Upcoming, I have on so next Friday I have I'm a piano song with the La La Las that is coming out. This one is gonna be beautiful. And the week after, I have thanks to Ezekiel, who sent me some masters that he has. Hey Tatiana, I have 2 remixes of Bounce Baby that came out in 1998, but that were never online. And thankfully, I have amazing fans and listeners who have my old CDs that I never have. And he sent me the waves, the masters, so I could add them to my library and as well put them online. So I'm gonna have 2 remixes from Bounce Baby, one by a French producer, very famous, called Volodia, and another one made by me called Fiesta. So I did a hip-hop version of Bounce Baby with some Latin vibes and with a new chorus with Lincha on the chorus. So it's called Fiesta. That's gonna be like the release of September 20 something, I guess. Let me see the calendar. September 10th, I got that my piano. September 17th. So now I'm gonna record a new song, probably for 24. So September 24th. I've been, like I told you, I haven't been recording anything the whole month. It's been 5 weeks since the transition of Jacob, and I haven't recorded nothing at all. So I'm getting back to it now, and kids are going back to school, I'm gonna go back to concentrating really into work. I might even just book a studio session. These things are itching my ears, and I clean them, but I have some reaction. I don't know. I have to see what's going on. Maybe it's time to change but it keeps itching me. Yeah, so I was saying, I might book a studio at Atlantic Blue, maybe 10 hours just for me to really focus. But I mean, now my son is back in Angola, and my daughter leaves to school at 8 a.m. So we're going back to spending the days just together, me and my wife, or maybe she goes see her sister. So I'm gonna have a lot of time where I can concentrate on music during the day. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna really like mix the last track that I need to mix, and etc. And I have a lot of collaborations that I have to do that I didn't do anything. So I have to really go back to connecting with everybody and work on those things. I love to say I feel better, but it's worse. Can't find a new apartment. It's not my best day. Oh my God. All right, listen. Ups. Before the ups, there's the downs, and before the downs, there's the ups. So you might be a little down right now, but I believe that with the support of our energy, everything's gonna be all right, and you're gonna find a better place. And maybe this time, make sure that there's no tricky stuff, because interestingly, the way they do is they come take you when you are desperate, and that's how they let all the fuckery slip. So, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be all right. Yeah. So this weekend, today, because my son was leaving, we went. I asked him, hey, what you want to do before we go? Like, is there a place you want to eat before we leave to, before you take the plane tonight? If there's a place where you want to go, just let me know, And he told me, I want to go to the Korean. I was like, all right, Korean it is, man, then. So we went to the Korean. Let me see if it's, there you go. So we took the whole family. So, we went to a good restaurant and had some nice gear together. What I love about going to the Korean restaurants is that after eating, I don't feel full. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel like, I'm just happy that, it's me, the wife, the son, and then that was just 2 hours ago when he went to the gates, and this is right now. So yeah. Yeah, it's cool to to be it was a great dinner, and then I took him to the airport, and he just called me to tell me, like 20 minutes ago, to tell me that he was in his seat on his way. And so I just called his mom, and then his mom was like, when we stopped, I stopped talking with his mom, telling him what time he was landing, etc. Then I was on the phone with Bodhisattva and my cousin, and then Bodhi was like, "Don't you have a live?" Oh shit, the live. Oh, listen, I'm telling you, everybody, give me some rainbows for Julie in the chat. Send her some rainbow energy, the rainbows of the Shada game. Soon you have a place where you really, can feel at peace. It's important, the place where you stay is the most important part of your life. Actually, the place where you sleep has to be your safe space. That's why, for me, whenever I have a bad relationship with somebody, and it's like not just like a 1 month or 6 months. When if I spend like 3 years with somebody, 4 years with somebody, and it's a relationship that ends in a bad way because of the bad energy that the person puts in the place where we live, I tend to move after that. I just tend to be like, it's time to change houses, because or you have to clean the energy, and you have to do something about it. So yeah, at a point you find a place that is on the level of what you need as a person, as a creative, especially us creators. We really need to have that, a place that makes us feel whole, and that we know that when we are here, all the drama from outside cannot reach us. So it's super important to be careful about the place where you're gonna be there. You see what I mean? I think it's super important. Malcolm Beast, my boy. That remix, yeah. You have to choose the next remix, actually. The next remix that we're gonna do from the album, or maybe from the latest singles. What up, Anaclet? Welcome to the Shada Gang. Dalia, when is the return of the show? Is it this Saturday? Of course. Pas en pas sans bata. What up, dear cousin? How are you? I was having a very interesting conversation with Lil Maro about, somebody posted something very interesting, a comment when I was having a conversation about the live stream, doing a live versus performing in playback or with a CD and without a band, etc., etc. It was and that was a very, very interesting conversation, because somebody put in the comments while we were chatting with Lil Maro, with Ali Angel. Somebody said, "Yeah, I hate playback. I hate when artists don't come with a band." And I was like, you guys are funny, because it's not really a question of what you like or what you don't like most of the times. It's also the economics behind it. And I was explaining to Lil Maro the full breakdown of how much it costs to do a live show. So let's let's analyze the difference between a live show, which is something that we all love to do, or a show in a club, when you are a performer in our markets. A lot of us, when we do our music, that first of all, to preface that, I believe that performing is performing, whether it is on doing a dance performance and a full, like Madonna style when she was doing her tour with 4, 5, 7 dancers and being dancing and lip syncing on your words and doing a performance that is more like a visual, or singing with a band that is playing live behind you and you are singing live. Listen, I think there's space for everything. And people have to stop acting like they are singers themselves and pretending that, oh, I want this or I want that and this I don't want or whatever. Unless they are able to pay for what they want. Because a lot of the times, people love to talk about things and do a lot of, talkation, if I can say. But then there's no money. The monetization that comes with helping the artists deliver what they want to see is not there a lot of the times. And only big festivals can pay that. So you have to understand the economics of why a lot of Zouk artists or Kizomba artists, for example, do playback with open mic, which means you play on top of your CD and you sing on top of your MP3 or your original song. And people would say, yeah, but you could play on top of your instrumental. And yeah, you could. But the thing is this: when you go to a club, especially, so there's different types of show. It's what people don't understand. You have the full big concert, 10,000 people, 3,000 people, 1,000 people, whatever, with the full setting, stage, engineers, etc., and with the live show and etc. They hire you, perfect. And then you have smaller shows, and you can still have and come with a small band and etc., or come with dancers, whatever, or with a DJ. And then you have clubs. And a lot of the Zouk and Kizomba artists, they perform usually in clubs. And especially in cities like Paris and different cities, there's a market for clubs. And those clubs are not built for live stages. They're built for a DJ, people dancing, drinking, whatever. They're not built for a show with a band. You can do it, but the acoustic of those places are made, and especially the way the sound system is completely tuned in the whole place, is to maximize bass vibration, and because they want people to go and dance and buy drinks. Club is a place where people are trying to make you spend your money, and the sonics have to be a certain way. People love going in the club and hitting when the bass with a boom boom and it hit them in the back. Like, people love that. When you do a live concert, you have to control the sound. So one day I had a conversation with a woman that was a promoter in some country, and she was telling me after a show, yeah, listen, your show was great, I loved it, but it was not live. And I was like, yeah, I know. Hello, Sandra. I was like, yeah, I know. But and she was like, yeah, but why? And I was like, because that's what they paid for. And she was like, oh. And she was like, and you don't mind? And I was like, no, I don't. If I have a choice between my demands of what I want to perform and how I want to perform, and be able to perform to a maximum of people around the world, I will choose playing for a maximum of people, because I prefer getting €1,000 in a small club with 500 people every week than in a market where, I don't know, let's say only every 3 months I can do a show the way I want and be paid the way it should be. Yeah, listen, it's not tenable in terms of economics. And she was having a conversation with me that was an artistic conversation. Like, yeah, but artists should sing like that. And me, I prefer when it's like this. And I was like, yeah, I hear you, but pay me then. Buy the show with the instruments and etc. etc. Oh, yeah, but no, we don't have that much budget. So why are you complaining? You want chocolate ice cream with 3 balls, and you only have money for vanilla in 1 ball. Why are you talking about something you cannot afford? And this is, to me, the real interesting conversation that the fans don't have, or the purists don't have, with the artists. And that comment that I had, I know it was not a bad comment, but the comment said a lot. Oh, I hate playback. And I was like, it's the same comment as, oh, I hate auto-tune. And I was like, wait, listen, those are tools. And a performance, there's a lot of different performances. Some people, they do a show, guitar and voice. Some people, they do a show, playback plus dancing. Some people, they do a show, full band, whatever. Some people will do a show, full band, but everything is electronic. Like, there's not one way. There's multiple ways, and there's economics behind it. So I was breaking down to Lil Maro how much it cost. So don't mind me on the numbers. I'm just giving numbers just like that. I'm just giving you numbers to simplify. Let's say Irvin. Let's say that Irvin, right, wants me to go perform in South Africa. And he tells me, I want you with a live band. Or I tell him, okay, you have 2 choices. Choice 1 is with a live band. Okay, let's break down how much it costs to bring me and my band to South Africa. First of all, you're gonna need to pay me my cachet, right? Let's say, hypothetically, I ask 5,000. I would probably ask more, but let's say that I ask 5,000 to come. So that's 5,000. Let's say that you need to pay 1 engineer to take care of the sound of the stage, right? That's 200. Let's say that you also need to pay another engineer that will take care of the sound of the club or the place, the venue where I'm going to perform. So that's already 2 people that you have to pay. Another 200. So now we are at 5,400. Let's say that you have to pay for the band. So guitar, keyboard, second keyboard, drummer, bassist. So that's 5 people. Oh, percussionist. That's 6 people. Each of them costs 200. So that's 1,002. Now, you have to pay 1,002 for the band, plus the cachet of the artist. So that's 6,200, plus the 2 engineers that take care of the sound. So that's 6,600 that we are. Now you have to pay the flight of the artist, the 6 members of the band, plus the manager. And maybe the artist has 2 dancers. So that's 10 people. You have to pay all these tickets to South Africa. That's a good 6,000 that you have to add just in plane tickets. So now we are at 12,000 and something, right? Now let's say that you have no sponsors, and you're gonna have to pay on top of that. You're gonna have to pay for 1 bedroom for the artist, and those artists, they have luxury taste. So it's not gonna be a 2-star hotel. It's gonna be a 5-star hotel. For him, 1 room, 1 for the manager, and then maybe you can squeeze the band in 2 per room. So let's say, 3 more rooms, 4 rooms with dancers. So 4 rooms, let's say another 2,000. So now you are at 14, let's say 15,000. If you add that, you have to move all that people. You have to feed them the time that they're here. You have to take them to the restaurant. You have to pay the breakfast. You have to pay for the etc. All right. So let's say it's gonna cost you 15,000. This means that at 15,000, to start making money on your party, you have to have a minimum of 1,500 people just to pay for the show. If the ticket is 10, if the ticket is 20, you need a minimum of 750 people in your club. And that's just to pay for the show. Because you also gonna have to pay for the security, for the DJ, for everybody that the bartenders, or everybody that work on your club. You're gonna have to pay them as always. So let's say, hey, listen, a good 15,000 to organize. So what you're gonna tell the artist? And that's why people ask us, hey, we want you to come, we want you to sing live, etc., etc. And you're like, okay, this is what I need, this is how I work. And what they're gonna tell you, the first way they're gonna try to not pay you that money will be, oh, we have a local band, they can play your songs. I don't care about your local band. I want my own band that will play the sound the way I want it. And you're gonna have to also pay for us to train for 3 days before we come. And they always tell the same thing. No, we have a local band. Don't worry. They will play your song to the perfection. Trust us. What you mean trust you? You mean that I'm gonna travel 10,000 kilometers to arrive 3 days before the show and meet a band of people that I don't know and they're gonna play my songs? And how do I know they understand what I want? How do I know that they understand that I'm an electronic artist? I play computerized music with a little bit of guitars and stuff, but it's computerized music. I like the way it sounds. It sounds heavy. It sounds hip hop. Why are you gonna put me a zouk band, a band that plays, even if they play amazing, it's not gonna sound like my sound. You put me a jazz band, they're gonna jazzify my music. It might be amazing as an artist. I'm gonna be like, wow, it sounds great, but it's not gonna sound how I sound, how I want to sound live. And no, but don't worry, we have engineers. I might say I want my own engineers. I want to travel with my engineers because they know my sound. They know how to fix the thing. They know the show. Oh, it's gonna cost us a lot of money. I don't care. You ask for me to come, you have to pay. So after that, they're gonna do the calculation. They're gonna realize, damn, okay, if we want to pay that show, we have to put the ticket at $30. $30 per person to come see the show. And if in your club or in the place where you want to perform, people are used to pay $10 to enter, they're gonna be pissed off. They're gonna be like, yo, why is it so expensive? Because we have Kaysha, but and fans love to complain, but they don't like to pay. So now you tell the same person, well, listen, you can pay me just $5,000 and I will come with my pen drive. I have a pen drive. Where is my pen drive? Yes, it's not here. It's in my bag. I have a pen drive. In the pen drive, I got like different shows. I got like a 20-minute shows, already mixed everything. I have a 30-minute shows. I have a 45-minute show, already like from intro to finish, all the hits one by one, already cut, and then a pause, and then I can finish the show with On the Quoi, for example. And I have different mixes for different places because I already know, because of 25 years of performing, what song work where. So I might say, listen, I can come with my pen drive and just me and the manager, or just me and the DJ. And yeah, it's just gonna cost you 2 plane tickets. And I just need the microphone. And most of the time, the promoters will choose that. Why? Because it's less expensive. Simple as that. And it's not the artists that are lazy. It's just the economics of everything. And listen, when I started performing in 94, I was a rapper. I didn't even think it was possible to perform playback. For me and my sister and Organize, we would write our songs in the afternoon to go perform them at night. We would test new songs. We would freestyle. There would be a lot of improvisation. We are kings of that stuff. We're not scared of that stuff. It's just that at a point, when you become when people pay you, they realize that they also have the economics of, I have a feel a club with 500 people max, and I have to pay these people, and I have to make a choice as a promoter, because my public might not pay more than a certain level unless they go to a big concert. And it's very interesting how the same public will not accept to pay more than $20 or euros to see the artists that are close to them, but they might pay triple, quadruple that to see 50 Cent or Bruno Mars, whatever. And it's all the market. That's the market. The market will decide how much people are willing to pay to see you, and how much people who pay for you to come will be able to give you. It's the market. It's not a question of emotion. It's a question of market. And a lot of artists, a lot of fans, a lot of people who are in the conversation, they talk from emotions. They talk from, I should be like that. The market doesn't care about how people feel. The market is just, hey, listen, this person can move that number of people, so I can put that person in this type of venue, and this type of venue has this capacity, so I will make that amount of money. With that amount of money, I can pay for this. So as a promoter, you have a choice. You might say, I want Kaysha and Linsha with a full band. Okay, I know how much it's gonna cost me. I'm gonna try to have them perform with our band, or I'm gonna try to have them accept to play with a local band. And sometimes you can convince the artist, and sometimes the artist say hell no. And depending on how big the artist is, you might say, yeah, okay, I'll come with a local band, or you might say no, it's with my band. And it's 100% upfront at reservation. It really depends how strong you are in the market, and you can dictate what you want. And a lot of times I've been in places where there was just no engineer in the club. The engineer of the club, of the sound system, was the owner. And the person who would take care of the sound during the show was the DJ. And the DJ, a lot of times, he's not a sound engineer. And the DJs, what they do usually, they put the sound the loudest they can, and that's it. But when you perform and you have a microphone that is on where there's speakers, if the microphone goes to the same direction of a speaker, let's say that this is a speaker. If the microphone is in front of the speaker and you talk, what you say will go in, then go to the speaker, then go back from the speaker to the microphone, and this creates what we call the Larsen, this sound. And sometimes when the DJ hears that, and he's not a professional engineer, his automatic reaction is to turn off the volume of everything. And this fucks your show, this disconcentrates you, etc., etc. And in a club, depending on what kind of club you go, the best solution actually is to come and sing on top of your songs, because you can control enough of your volume of your microphone to sing on top of your vocals and still sound as live as possible and doing a great performance in an environment that you don't know, because you might arrive at 6 p.m. and discover the sound of the club. You have no idea how many times I've been in clubs and everything is fine at the sound check. You check everything and then you realize that the person who's doing the checking the sounds of everything of your microphone is not even keeping the equalization. He's just doing it to do the sound check, and then he takes the same microphone all night and he's gonna yell on it and change everything depending on what he's gonna do before you come. So when you come to perform, you're gonna be like, oh, and it's not the same sound. This happens all the time because a lot of these places are not professional. A lot of these places are students doing a party, or people who have a small club and they want you. And sometimes, yeah, there's a professional club with a professional sound with engineers, etc. But you never know what you're gonna find out when people are just, when you're in the economics of performing in nightclubs. You don't know. It's not the same as when you perform for a big venue like a festival in Cape Verde or in some other place in America, etc., where you have 1 hour to test everything. You have a band and etc., and you have one engineer on stage that makes sure that the sound arrives to your ears or your returns. and that the sound on the other side, there's another engineer for that, and sometimes there's a whole organization to make sure that it sounds the best possible. But these cost money, and in our economic, sometimes this money is not there. And this is why a lot of times when you look at how much it's gonna cost you to bring an artist with a band, with everything, and with flying them, feeding them, etc., 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 you like, wait a minute, I don't have the money to do that. And it might sound horrible in my club if I don't have like engineers and stuff. So a lot of time they choose the other option, which is, can you come alone or can you come just with your DJ? And this happens to me all the time. And I like the last time I did a show in Congo, we found an interesting solution, which was that I was performing on top of my songs, but there was a band, a local band, that was performing on top of my songs as well. And we did like training, and yeah, listen, it was okay. Of course, they rehearsed before I come. I was receiving tapes, and I was like, it was not amazing, but it sounded great for a first show. And why did it sound great for me? Because I knew that I still had the original songs playing, and they were playing on top of it. So I was not asking them to replay the songs. I was telling them to add some stuff. The keyboard, do a little bit of this. The bass player complement the bass that is already there, and the drummer doesn't need to do the kick. I ask him to take care more of everything that's on top without the kick, because the kick is already like heavy in my sound. And I was like, let's do a nice mix of both. And listen, people loved it. People said, oh man, it was amazing. And you know, all in all, most people don't know the difference, or they don't care, or they're too drunk to realize. But it's interesting that the one or two people who care, they're always so vocal. But when you ask them, hey, how much did you pay to come to this party? They say, oh, I was invited. I said, there you go. The people who don't pay, who don't realize, they are not, they love to complain. So I had an interesting conversation a few years ago with my good friend Olga, who organized a Kizomba festival in Madrid. And she was explaining to me that she was having Siquat Pedro on her show, and that it was about to be amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, listen, Siquat is expensive, and is he coming with the band? Yeah, we're having everything. I was like, okay. But after the festival, she told me that she didn't make money from the festival, because all the money went in paying the teachers, and what would be normally the revenue they do, everything went on paying the band, the hotel, the whole team that he comes with. He comes with his band, his engineers, and everything. He's not like, no, I don't want, and he has a list of all the material that they want. And she was telling me, yo, listen, I mean, it was an amazing show. It was great. He's a great performer. But not only I lost money, but I also had people not really appreciative. Like, I added a big added value to my Kizomba festival, but all these people only care about dancing. They didn't really care about the show. They just wanted to dance. And I was like, yeah. And I told her, you know, the problem here is that you mistake your emotion and your desire as an artist yourself, as a dancer, as a person who has the possibility to organize something, and how you want to please your public, you mistake that with the economics of the reality of how much it costs to create a Kizomba festival and how much is the return. So if it costs you 20,000 to organize a festival and the return is, I don't know, after paying everybody, let's say you have 20,000, so you make 40,000. After paying everything, you have 20,000. Fake numbers. If you spend 30,000 on an artist or band or whatever, plus the rest of your expenses, now you spend 50,000 on the whole festival, and you only have in ticket sales 40,000. So you lose 10,000. And so she came to me 6 months after, and she told me, "Wow, listen, it was an amazing show. It was amazing, but we lost a lot of money." I was like, "Yeah, of course. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. Da 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 da. People are not appreciative. Da da da. And listen, some people said that the show was too long and they wanted to dance." And I was like, "Yeah, listen, they come to dance. They don't come to see an artist perform for 2 hours. It's a dance festival." And I was like, "Listen, you are mistaking your desires with the desire of the public. They come to Kizomba Festival to dance, 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 and dance, and maybe make love. But dance, they came to dance." So, and I told her something. I said, "Listen, one day when you will start thinking straight about business, you will do a festival and you will invite me, because I'm only gonna cost you X, and it's gonna be like a fraction, maybe 5 times less, if not 6 times less, to just come with my mix of 30 minutes on a USB key, and I travel alone. And you can pay me directly by wire, and then it's one plane ticket and one hotel room inside of the festival, and you will see." So this is what we did. She was like, "Oh, let's do it next year." I said, "Okay." So the next year, I came, and she was super stressed. The whole festival, she was super stressed. "Oh, what are people gonna say?" Listen, I came on stage, everybody started yelling, I started doing my thing, and the whole show, she was smiling, everybody was dancing, listening to the music. The dancers were dancing, the people who wanted to come see the show were seeing the show, and because it was a mix of all my hits in 30 minutes, the people who just wanted to dance kept dancing while I was performing. And at the end of the show, and listen, because it cost her so less money to bring me, she could even invite Eligio and Mika Mendes, who came to do one song before me. I think they came just for the pleasure, and they just said, "Hey, listen, pay me for the hotel room and the flight, and I'll do one song, and maybe I'll come while Kaysha is performing, whatever." And that's when she realized nobody came to her and say, "Oh, where was the band?" Because nobody cared. And listen, so many times I've been in these situations where even me, I was like, wait. Sometimes I perform between 2 bands and I don't have a band, and I still rip shit up, because it's all about the performance you're gonna give and the energy you're gonna send to the people. And people love to create these fake problem about with or without, or auto-tune or not auto-tune, live or playback, real piano or synthetic piano, whatever. And listen, the economics are the economics, and the people who care too much are usually not the people who pay, or the people who are in the public enjoying. The people who are in the public enjoying, listen, especially in a discotheque, in a club, they don't really care. They don't care. Listen. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna bring a guitar or whatever. It might be fun, but they don't really, especially in a unit club, you came to dance, be on that, have a drink. When there's a show, it's great that there's a show. You might have come for the show, but after doing thousands of shows, I realized that people in a club have a limit of 6 songs. After 5 songs, you start hearing people talking while you're performing because they're just tired. And a lot of times I was trying to do more because I wanted to do more. And my manager was like, mm-mm. And I was like, no, I'm going to do 8 songs. Listen, at song number 6, I'm depressed because I know that, I still have On Dit Quoi coming, and I still have One Love. Oh my God, like people are tired already. And I learned by performing that it's not as simple as you think. But yeah, it is what it is. What up, Elise boys? Liwa, mon cher. What up, Abju? Hey, Heather. Maybe you should give a local band a chance, because just to save money and the cost, could be fine to hire capable people, maybe practice 4 days with them. Like I said, it depends. Some artists don't care. Some people want to be with their band. Some people want to be with their dancers. And some people prefer coming with a USB key because they trust more the sound that they will give. It depends. It really, it's this thing between the economics and it's the thing between the economics and the preference of the artist. Some artists will say, I don't care, and some people will say, listen, I had a local band the other time and I didn't like it, so I don't want to do it anymore. You know how many times I went to perform in the West Indies or in Cape Verde, and I had great bands. I did a lot of shows where I had great bands, but this was not what I wanted in terms of sonics, in terms of sometimes some people are, like when you might hear some mistakes that they do or some things that they don't understand about your music because it's not their music, because they are sometimes like a typical Cape Verdean band or a typical Zouk West Indies band, and they used to playing with bass guitars. Listen, if I had my own band to do things, I wouldn't want a bass guitar. I would want a Moog, a keyboard, because the bass I play, they are electronic basses. And it's interesting how people want you to prove them that you are a real musician by playing what they consider real music. And it's actually a kind of lack of respect, because the music I do, even if it's an electronic music created on computers, I consider it real music. And I don't consider that I have to play something that sounds acoustic to prove to people that I'm a real musician, or that I have to sing without auto-tune to prove to people that I can sing, because this is not the way I create my music. And when people cannot say nothing about you and you are winning, they come with this type of lame excuses. Yeah, but you sing in an auto-tune. Oh yeah, but like you guys don't perform with a band. Listen, I perform with bands, and people enjoyed it. All the artists came to me like, wow, that was amazing. Why don't you do this more? And me, I never liked the shows. I enjoyed performing. I enjoy doing my thing on stage. I know what I have to do. But while I'm performing, I'm listening to what they're doing, and I've never been happy about none of the shows that I did. It was fine, but it was just fine. If I came and just performed on my own music, it would have been perfect. Or if I had Ali Angel, for example, somebody who really gets it, be the band leader and explain to him, and listen, I want this, I want that, I want it to sound like Jodeci, or like, you see what I mean? I want that R&B feel. Then he would choose the right people. But most of the time, people will tell you, no, don't worry, we have a local band. The local band is amazing. You will see, they will, and then when you arrive, now, it's not, because there's a big difference between performing with people you don't know, and even if they have all the goodwill in the world and they deliver a great, something that is great, it's never going to be the same as performing with your own band that you've been performing for a long time. To give you an example, for a long time, I used to do shows with dancers, right? For a long time, I used to perform with my two dancers, Jesse and Julie. And listen, after doing 100 shows together, you know each other. You know when it's time for them to leave and it's time for you to take the stage. You know when they are performing and it's their time to shine, and like you go a little bit back in the stage, and you let them take the front stage, and you like, it becomes automatisms that you will not have if you arrive and they introduce you to, even if they are the best dancers in the country, and it's gonna be amazing. But the connection and the synergy and the symbiosis that you have with your dancers that you work with every day, you will not do it with people that you don't know. So listen, if I come to perform, I'm getting paid to just come by myself with my DJ, and people tell me, listen, we have two dancers, we'd love you to give them a chance and see what they do. And they come to the repetition, and you check the show, you check what they prepare for your show, and you're gonna see it's fine. Yeah, listen, cool. Me, I don't have a problem with that. But I know that it's never gonna be the same as if I came with my own people. And I'd rather, if it's not nice, I'd rather tell the person, listen, no, I'd rather be alone on stage. Not because I don't want to share, but because I want to give people a good show in the conditions that I have. And depending on the conditions that you have to choose the right tools. I was on a show with Nicole's in Montreal, and we were performing for, it was more Haitian crowd, and there was a Haitian band, and they were supposed to perform with us. And it was Saint-Clan. Love that band. They already remixed some of my songs. So I told them, hey, listen, I'm going to perform on top of my songs. And they were like, okay, we'll perform on top of your songs as well. And we already do this all the time. So cool. Listen, it was an amazing show. But there was no engineer, or there was one engineer for both the crowd and on stage. So if you had any problem with your microphone or something, or you could not hear yourself or whatever, that person was not able to help you, right? And so my show went fine. And after me, it was Nichols, or maybe before me was Nichols, and then Felicia Ross was there as well. Felicia killed it as always. And was it that show? But when Nichols performed, because it was a theater, but the sound was not really perfect because the engineer was not really Caribbean music engineer or hip hop engineer. He was a rock and roll guy. And me, I was like, oh my God, that's gonna be horrible. So I just told him, listen, here's the playback, put the playback as loud as possible, then the band, and put my microphone at mid-level, and I will handle it. But Nichols wanted to perform live. And his performance, sadly, was he's a great singer and a great performer. But if you don't hear yourself because the sound engineer is doing shit, you might sound off, or you might like not hear yourself, and instead of performing, be saying, I don't hear myself. And for the public, they're like, what kind of performance was that? And then they were like, oh my God, yeah, Kaysha sang better than Nichols. When, listen, he sings 10 times better than me, maybe 20 times better than me. But I chose the right tools for the right place. I saw the place, I was like, okay. I saw the band, I was like, listen, I'm gonna play this song, this song, this song. Listen, behind the song, just play on top, etc. And it was perfect. And we took care of all the engineering ourselves on stage. And that's what I mean. Like, you have to improvise what you're gonna do when you're gonna perform, because you never know how the sound's gonna be. And like, especially when you're far away from home, like sometimes you don't really know how the sound's gonna be. Sometimes the sound is horrible. And all you can, like, or the microphone is like some Fisher Price cheap microphone. And the best thing to do is put it the lowest possible and let your voice sing in the record and sing on top of it, and have you heard less than, because of the quality of what they gave you. It is what it is. What up, Chantal? Oh, Gabi, what up? In our market, 90% of the times, people just want to see the artist in the venue instead of listening to the artist. Damn, that's cold. That's horrible. But yeah, makes sense. Listen, and in the Portuguese market, when I used to perform a lot in 2005, one thing that I loved was that you could do like 10 songs before, 8 to 10 songs before people were tired. Where in France, listen, 5 songs, 6 if you really have a hit. So my show in France usually was Love de Toi, non, sorry, Jusqu'à Fatigué, Love de Toi, Bien plus fort que mes mots, non, yeah, Love de Toi, Bien plus fort que mes mots, then maybe Kizomba, like Diamonds, and then On dit quoi. That's it. Or maybe I could change, like, but 5 songs, and then maybe a second time On dit quoi, depending. And usually people would tell me half an hour. We just want half an hour. So coming, intro, talking, 5 songs, perfect. And in Portugal, intro with deeper, something going on, 88 BPM, Question My Heart, One Love, then Diamonds. Done. And for most of the club, it works. We'll use backtracks. was giving an example. I was not proposing you something. Look at this guy. In Zimbabwe, it's exactly the same. Most people either go drunk or are drunk by the time the acts perform. So the Sonics aren't too critical of them. Yeah, listen. Chacun sa musique. What do you do? Mountain of Inspiration, safely home. Yeah. I have hated live band performances pretty much all my life. I've always wanted the studio sound, and when I don't get it, I don't like it. It depends. I always thought that I would love to do a live performance with a live band, and that wouldn't sound like the original songs, but that would be deliberate. And maybe instead of having a big show, I would do a small show where everybody can sit down and do something very intimate. That is something that would be interesting for me. I did some shows with a live band in Cape Verde. It was great. I had I would recreate my songs without the bass, for example, or without some synth. So like just the skeleton of the song, and then I would explain to the band what I need them to do. And yeah, usually it sounds great. But then it really depends. But those were festivals where, they had the money to pay for everything, but still it was not my band. It was bands from local bands in Cape Verde. And every time I perform with a local band, I realize that I prefer playing on top of my tracks. I prefer from far away. I don't even need a band. I would rather just come have a DJ and tell DJ let's go, because I have this hip hop mentality where for me a performance of a rapper is the instrumental by the DJ or the track, and you rap on top of it. That's how I started, and when I started singing, I just kept it this way because I was not able to sing anyway. And then when I really did my first live shows, and yeah, I had auto-tune and stuff, I would use auto-tune live and then perform with full band and backing tracks. And some of them I even did, like in Mozambique, I did it full band and no backing tracks, just the band playing the songs and me singing with my auto-tune. Listen, public loved it, but me as an artist, I didn't feel, I prefer the experience of seeing the artists, even if they have backing tracks, but to feel the energy and simply being in the same space as them. But look, I've seen a show of Jodeci, for example, and they replay everything, but the band sounds amazing. That's the difference. And like when we used to do a show with Jean-Michel Rotin, we had a live band, but because it was our band, when the drummer was playing on the kick, the sampler was connected to some captors on the kick. And so when it did pop with the kick, there was a sample going boom. And when it would play the sampler at the sample was so then we had an amazing sound. And instead of having a bass player, we had a keyboard player with a bass that did the boom. So it's not impossible to have a sound that, and the heavy sound that we like. It's just that for that, you need to have your sound, your engineers, and come with your show. It costs money. And most of the time, people are trying to force you to do live with a local band, where you're like, no, in this case, if you don't have money to make me come with my people, I'd rather do a great performance and call this a showcase, and I come with my key. And then it's the preferences. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes it's a big festival. Okay, everybody's gonna be live. You're not gonna just listen. I've been in festival. I'm the only guy on playback. Whatever. It hurts. And even if you kill it, I'd rather be like everybody, have a band. And that's what we did in Cape Verde. It was fine. But it doesn't sound like the way I want. It sounds great, but it doesn't sound like the way I hear it and how I would want to do it. So it's up to you. I prefer doing either the full thing or even nothing. If you don't want to pay for my band and my thing, leave me alone with that stuff. I'd rather have like 4 dancers. I'd rather you pay 4 dancers, because at least, you know, I send them the full show and they create their own choreography, they prepare everything, and they can dance. I'd rather have that, and because it's a visual show for the people, and I'd rather have that and pyrotechnics and whatever, rather than sound a way that I don't like. It really depends. It's, you know. When I go to a show, I want the sound to sound like the record. I love bands that are able to do that. You see, Jodeci, Guy, Usher, like those people, they are able to do that because they are using their own bands and their own engineers. And when they come perform, they travel with everything they need, or they send you a full list of everything you need. And that's why the show is going to cost you 50K. But our people are funny because our people want us to do the same thing without our bands, and they don't have 50K. They have 3K. And you're like, well, listen, for that amount, I'd rather sing a mega mix of my hits. And yeah, listen, bring some local dancers. Or I'll bring, or if you have some money, I'll bring my dancers. I'll bring 4 people. They will sleep in 2 rooms, and it's better. So we ended up when we were doing all the shows back then, we ended up giving formulas. We had formulas, me alone, me with a DJ. We had me with 2 dancers, and me with the full 5 dancers, plus a guy doing the backup vocals because it was rap, etc. And then we had one with the full band. And we would tell the promoters, choose what you want, discuss that. And depending of the size of the club, people would choose. Most of the time, people would say, yeah, you and 2 dancers. That was enough for them, or just you alone. And sometimes, if it was something bigger with more money, they would say, no, we want you and the full 2 dancers and stuff. But most of the clubs, they didn't really care about the band and stuff. They didn't really care. So sometimes people are just trying to force you into their fantasies. And as an artist, you have to be able to say, no, I'm not interested. My favorite performance was Usher. That guy had the best band I ever heard in my life. I've agreed, and we've never gone to a better show since. Yeah, Usher was some great trick you are sharing about having some instrument be stripped down to digital version, and then others that I played live to balance it out. Yeah, listen, I can show you. Let's wait. I can show you how it sounds. Kaysha live. Cabo Verde. Let me see. Let me see this one. Oh, it's only quoi. Wait. Kaysha live. for example, yeah, here in Portugal. Let me see. No, not this. Let's say this one. And that's not the best one. Live in Coconut. Maybe this one. So that's in Cape Verde, in Tarrafal. So here you can hear. So this is not my band, so I didn't really have a choice. But it's people that I've performed. I've performed with them all the time. So the first time they hated it, performing on top of my stripped down version. They were like, this is like if we were doing playback. And I was like, and in the end of the first show, they were like, this is kind of nice. And this was maybe our, I don't know, 5th show together. We did up to 100,000 people. But so the here on that show, my microphone is connected to the soundboard. Of course, it's wireless, and on the soundboard I have my computer with the auto tune. The microphone goes inside of the auto tune, and this is what the public hear, the sound with the auto tune. The microphone goes into my computer, and my computer gives to the engineer the sound of my vocal the way I want it. And in my pocket, I have a little device of this side with where I can in my ears I have same type of headphones that I have here, and I can hear everything, the band and everything in my ears, and I have something in my pocket that is a receiver, wireless. And for me, it was perfect. And I can hear me performing on my instrumental plus the band on top of it, and it sounded great. So you see the guitar, that's not part of the original, but yeah, we added a little bit of guitar. Whatever, you know. This one, they were full live. That was full live. I have to get back skinny. Well, after that, it was Kaysha for 30 minutes. But you see what I mean? I believe that as an artist, you have to do what makes you comfortable and not let people force you into doing something that is not making you comfortable. You really have to be able to give the best performance as an artist. And if for you, let's say in studio you don't have problems singing, whatever, but on live you are not as that comfortable or not as good, you don't have to prove to other artists something. You have to make your public happy. And if making your public happy is performing playback but doing amazing choreography of dancers and whatever, listen, even Michael Jackson or Usher would do playback when they were dancing and singing, because it's impossible to do both most of the time. And those guys are amazing. Gods are singing, but they don't have nothing to prove. When it's a performance where it's a lot of dancing, a lot of the vocals will be pre-recorded. And Madonna did a whole show, a whole tour. When the whole show she was playback, but she had horses, 10 dancers, 20 dancers, pyrotechnics. Da, 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 da. It was a visual show, and nobody came and say, "Oh, you have to prove something." Like, it's funny how the less money there is, the more people want you to prove stuff. But when it's huge artists, they don't care. When it's like all these rap artists, they sing on top of their tracks. And the baby, Lil Baby, all these people. And nobody cares. The fans, they enjoy it. But us, interestingly, yeah, since we have nothing against you, we're gonna try. We're gonna, it's funny. My favorite performance to date is Bruno Mars. His band is, yeah, listen. Yeah. But again, you see, Ellis, we talking about people, when you want to hire them, it's going to cost you $200K. And it's going to cost you all the band, all the engineers. They come. It's you don't have them, and you're not gonna have them and pretend that you're gonna negotiate with them to play with a local band. This is not happening. And that's funny how when it's Americans, nobody even asks themselves the questions. They're gonna pay how much it costs, and they're gonna bring the amount of people, right? But when it's between us, yo, there's a local band. They are amazing. What? Why would I perform with the local band? Like, why? Yeah, but they are, and they always say the same thing. They are amazing. They will do this. They will do that. Look at one of them. Here they are. Look, here's one of them. Oh, oh. Look, you should give a local band a chance. I'm not here to give people a chance. I'm here to do my show. You want to give local band a chance? You make them perform before me or after me or doing the cocktail. You don't force an artist to perform with people he doesn't know and hope they're gonna sound great. And listen, a lot of them are amazing. It's not what I'm saying. It's just that it's not my band. And I'd rather stay home. And then it depends. From some artists don't care. Some artists but when you're a performer like me, you prefer doing your performance where you're gonna feel way more at ease. Or it has to be a band that you work with for a long time until it sounds exactly like you want, and you have to tell people exactly what you want. You see what I mean? And the type of band that would play well with me is R&B band. It's not a zouk band. And most of the time, last time they gave me a Congolese band. So on the quad, they were amazing. But the rest of the songs, well, I had to tell them how, but I was like, thank God I'm performing on top of my playback anyway. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. I'm putting you under the bus, but it's all love. I can hear the sound is pretty close and does a good job of replicating the original. That's what I want in my live performance. Yeah. And that's because they're playing on top of this. Wait, maybe I have them here. I have my backing track somewhere in my Dropbox. Wait, let me go to mobile music studio, live. No, that's the live for the tunes. Show concert audio. Okay, show live versions. For example, something going on. I'm gonna make you hear the difference between the original and so wait. So you all know my song, Something Going On. So Kaysha, Something Going On. So Something Going On sounds like this. Etc. etc. Live version, let me make sure that the finder is going inside your, there you go, finder. The live version sounds like this. More or less the same thing. There's no, because I leave this for the drummer to have that, and on top like, I want him to play that. You see here? Then the bassist, I have another version without the bass. So if I have a good bass player, it can go. I have no problem with that. And here I have enough for a keyboard player to add. And on top of that, even if they mess up, my beat is there. So it really depends. Like for me, it's always a case by case. You never know who you're gonna end up with as a band, and who you're gonna end up with as the people that they're gonna give you. So if you can, it's always, the thing is, it's always about control. You have to be able to control as much as the performance as you can, because if not, you are the one who's gonna be seen by the public as it was lackluster. So when you don't have, when you operate in an industry that is narrow-minded, and they don't want to spend on their artist, and the public as well don't want to spend, because if the public is ready to give 50, okay, let's imagine a club where normally the entrance is 10, but when Kaysha comes, or an artist that, hey Raquel, an artist that they love come, they are willing to give 30, and it's a club that can take 1,000 people. Well, the promoter, when you tell them I want this, the promoter has enough money to give you what you want. And if you say, listen, I will come with 5 dancers and this and this and this and a DJ, this is the show, they will be like, fine. Or if you say, hey, I'm coming with my band, I'm gonna have this, they will say fine, because they have the budget. And let's say on top of the people ready to pay 30,000, they have a sponsor that is willing to pay for just the artist, and in exchange just having the name of their alcohol brand or cigar brand in the back and in front of the DJ booth, then it's okay. But most of the time we deal with people who are narrow-minded, short-sighted, and they don't even organize themselves enough to have sponsors. So, and then they come to you with, I want this, but I want to pay for that. And you're like, no, listen, for that money, I'm coming with a USB key. That's it. And it's something I always say. People love to ask for things that they can't afford. And they love to give you, oh, but I had X such and such at that price. And me, I'm like, call them then. Yeah, I want you. Well, this is my price. Yeah, but they cost that. Call them. I don't care how much they cost. I'm telling you how much I cost. And I can stay home. So, but you are calling me. Me, I love this. Like, people love to call me and to ask, tell me, hey, I have this show. And I'm like, okay, 10,000. Oh, but come on, like, long time you didn't have a hit and blah, 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 blah. And oh, come on. This. Then they call me back like, yo, but why? I said, we don't have a conversation. Like, I have stuff to do. I'm live twice a week. I have songs every weekend coming out. I have kids and I have businesses outside of music. And now I sell paintings. So, what you want from me? No, but it's like, listen, this is my price. This is diamond level. This is diamond level. This is not zirconium. This is diamond level. So if you don't have the money to pay for diamond level, don't talk to diamond level. Go to Swarovski and buy you some crystals. You want diamonds? It costs money. And stop trying to force people into doing something they're not interested in because you are trying to do a fake version of what they do. People love to tell you, but the local band is amazing. I don't care. They might be. They're not my band. I'd rather play playback than with a band of people that I don't know. Especially if I have to meet them 2 days before performance. And they might be amazing. But trust me, when you go to rehearsal, most of the time you're like, this more like that, this more like that. And then most of the time you're like, you know what, this will do. This will do. We'll see on stage. I'm going to do what I have to do anyway. And yeah, most of the time it's okay. But you're like, what am I doing here? And a lot of time, us artists, we don't have the choice. Because a lot of time, this is what feed us and our families. And you don't have that many options. And the same people, they want you to come and they disrespect you all the time. With phrases like, yeah, but it's a long time you didn't have a hit. Why are you calling me then? No, but we thought that... Wait. You have pity on me? You want to help me? Like, I don't understand the conversation. No, but you know what? Peace. Me, I'm the king of peace now. Bro, listen. I make enough money with YouTube, with Spotify, Apple Music, with my paintings. I make more money than when I was performing 2 times a week. And it's freedom. It's the freedom to say no. I know a lot of people, they are retiring from music because they hate what they have to do. They have to perform in restaurants where people are talking while they sing. And they're eating. They don't make you eat before dinner or after dinner. They make you eat They make you perform while people are eating. Why you do this? There's nothing worse. You hear, si tu veux, and people are like, yeah, and you know, and then they're talking between themselves, and you hear performing like, and what people are like, you are furniture, people don't care. And some people don't have a choice because they have to pay the rent or they have to feed their kids. And promoters, some of them don't have a choice as well because that's all they can do for you. But some of them exploit you because they know that you don't have a choice. So they're like, hey, you know, a long time you didn't have a hit since Kaysha on the quoi. And you're like, yeah, that was 18 years ago. Why are you calling me exactly? No, but you know, like, okay, so you negotiate, then you come. And you're like, well, listen, I'm going to sing this, this, and this, and this. I'm going to sing Malembe, Malembe. I'm going to sing Wake Me Up. I'm going to sing that song and that song. And I'm going to sing some Jana Mari. I'm going to sing Sound of Excess by Jana Mari. That's me too. That's house music. And they're like, wait a minute, you're not going to sing Kaysha on the quoi? I'm like, well, you said that was an old song. Yeah, but the people are here for Kaysha on the quoi, Fiona, Motema, One Love, Diamonds, Jusqu'à Fatigué. The hits, you know, you have to do the hits. And you're like, well, I thought that I didn't have a hit for a long time, so that was the reason why you didn't want to pay me my money that I asked. That was your argument. And now you call me to sing the old songs? Make up your mind. And that's why now, I'm like, listen, I know you want me to sing the old song. It's fine. I don't care about singing the new songs. I do the new songs for Spotify. I know that the legend is written. I have legendary songs that are still current today. You want me to sing those songs? You want to have diamond level artists on your club, on your stage? That's the price. That's it. Yeah, but I got other things to do. I have Club Shada in 20 minutes. You better make up your mind. Send me an email when you know. Bye. But this is the freedom to say that I earned and I worked hard to get by investing all the money I made from my music in cameras, lights, microphones of quality, iPads, computers, and stuff. So I would be able to say no. But now you have to think about the millions of artists that don't have the choice. They don't have the choice, and they have to go where people are gonna give them something to pay their rent. And it's horrible. It's heartbreaking when I see it. And that's why I always tell artists, buy your freedom. Make sure you're free. Listen, it's better to rent a very small place, very small space that contain 100 people. That's gonna cost you, I don't know, 300, or maybe you can do a collaboration with the place and do your show there and do 50-50 if you have like 100 people coming, and you can make 1,000. It's better to do that rather than go in a place with 1,000 people but they disrespect you. And funny enough, people, they're scared to organize their own shows. They're scared to invest in their own shows and in their own careers. They always prefer somebody to come and validate them, somebody to come and pay for them, somebody to... Listen, one day I sat down with a friend, DJ Sean, DJ Britannico from Manchester. He was here in Portugal. I said, bro, I want to do a tour in the UK. And I said, listen, let's organize it together. But that's because I wanted to do a tour. And I was like, yeah, let's pay together, small places, and let's invest together. I don't know, 2,000, all of us, and let's try to make 6,000, and then we share. And because for me, it was about performing, creating content, filming the shows, and putting them on YouTube. Because I have a synergy across all my content. I don't make money from one thing. I make money from your donations. All of you guys, thank you. I make money from the views, the people who watch the replay, all the thousands of videos that are in my channel, the songs that I have that are playing right now. Well, while they're playing, they make money. The songs that I write for other people, and my painting, etc., etc. And this gives me this freedom of saying, nah, I'm not interested. A lot of people don't have this choice. And once they get trapped in what I call the prison of the playback, it's something that I realized in 2007. Once they trap, they don't know how to get out. And time is against you when you are trapped, because every year that you spend not moving forward, kids are coming in the back. Because every year there's a new kid that is 18 years old who can come perform. And he will perform when he's not famous enough for less than you. And it's a question of economics. And it's interestingly, people love to talk about the emotional stuff, the whatevers. But me, I see the economics of stuff. And the reason why sometimes the artists that you want will not perform the way you want, or might do even a lackluster performance, can be a bad performer. But a lot of times it's because of a bad promoter, or a promoter that doesn't realize the importance of investing in the sound, or sometimes the club is horrible. I performed in Switzerland in a club, and just before the show, some joint, some electricity stuff fell off, and all the part where we were performing in front of the club had no sound, and all the sound was coming from the back of the club, and it was like a long club. And it took me maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes performing to realize that it was better to pause and tell the DJ and everybody, let's just go in the back. And yeah, sometimes it's not your fault. It is what it is. I agree, there's nothing improved. Satisfy the crowd and play with your strength as an artist. Yep. Exactly. ZL. Oh, listen, I have a stripped down version of all my songs. I have a folder that I created already for live shows with stripped down versions of all my songs, so that I can go somewhere and perform them, and they are without vocals, instrumental, and they prepared really for those shows. And usually it's for festivals in Cape Verde or festivals. As an amateur musician, that's my kind of gig. If I mess up, you want to hear it because of the backing tracks you hear. Yeah, of course. That's what a backing track is for. As a renowned artist, what are your thoughts on performing at weddings? I love it. I love it because most of the time, people will pay you premium for one song. Most of the time, they just tell me to sing their song. Like, usually it's One Love, Diamonds, or Raquel. Maybe Fiona. But if the bride is called Raquel, it's Raquel. And sometimes it's going to be, if it's French people, it's going to be Si tu veux de moi, or Love de toi, and maybe On dit quoi. So, and wedding is great, actually. Now, there's two types of performance in weddings. For guys like me, people will pay premium because it's me. And usually, it's to sing that one song and maybe another one, and then sit and take photos with people. It's kind of easy. to perform at weddings. But then you also have wedding bands that they come live and they perform a lot of songs. So, but me, I don't mind. Me, I can perform anywhere as long as you pay me my price and I have what I need to do what you ask me to do. Thank you. We're gonna talk about it. I sold another one this morning. That is true. Where you are in the food chain is super important. And that's why you have to, as an artist, you have to be able to understand your position in the food chain and your position, your brand power. You have to understand what is your brand power. To give you an example, most of the time, a Club Shada live will attract between 400 and 500 playbacks, which is fine because it's our small club. But I cannot go to an advertiser and tell them, hey, I want 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever, because they're gonna tell me, yo, listen, you don't do the views. You have like 15 people watching at the same time. That's not enough. But there's a lot of small brands that don't have enough money to put 5,000, but they have 300, and they can grow with you. So if you understand who you are in the market, you will take the right decision as a businessman. A lot of people, they see themselves way higher than they actually are. I remember a friend who was like, yo, you know what? I'm not performing for 1,000 anymore. I was like, yeah. I'm this, I'm that, and look at those kids. Come on, those kids, that Jew Maître Gims, they take 100K for a show. Me, it was like, yeah, but in the market, they up there, and it's a new generation that touch way more people, etc. We paved the way for that generation, but they are reaping the benefits. We were too early. This is life. Like, some football players today get millions, but the people who paved the way before them, maybe they were getting 10% of that. That's the market. And if the market gets bigger, there's more money. And nah, I don't care. Starting now, I want 10,000 per show. I was like, for playback? Yeah, I don't care. I was like, sorry, okay. 3 months later, he called me. I'm not doing any show. Nobody wants to hire me. I was like, why? They say it's too expensive. I say, yeah, the market is the market. The market will determine if what you're asking is not possible. And you have to be able to understand that and adapt your price depending on the ratio, price performance, how many performance you want to do per month, and how much you want per performance. And you have to understand that depending on the market, let's say whenever you do a show, you attract 300 people. If everybody pay 10, the promoter makes 3,000. With these 3,000, they have to pay their security, their DJ, their barmaid, etc., etc. So they're not gonna give you more than 1,000 because they have to make money as well. On their side, they're like, this person usually perform in places of that size. Now, if your name is somewhere, like Maître Gims, for example, and wherever you go, you're gonna attract 50,000 people, and you can fill up a stadium, then you can ask a lot of money because people know that they're gonna make their money back. It's a simple rule of economy called offer and demand. If your if you bring more people than the capacity of a place, and the place is sold out in 2 minutes, people will pay you a lot of money, and brands will pay a lot of money to have their name associated with you and be in the back while you're performing. But what happens in the big league can be recreated in the middle league and the smaller leagues. If you only attract 300 people in a club, there's some, you're not gonna have those sponsors that will put 100,000 if David Guetta comes, but maybe you're gonna have a sponsor that is ready to put 500 if you wear a jacket, and another one pay 500 if you wear their shoes, and another one 500 if you wear their watch, and maybe another one will pay 500 for you to have their logo in the back while you're performing. So that's 2K that you make from those small brands, plus a cachet of 1,000 or 1,005. That's 3,005. 3,005. You have to understand, you have to look what people are doing in the big leagues, how people are creating their business and how they are making money, and just put them in your human size. And I think a lot of people, they forget that. Like, I talk all the time with artists, and I tell them, listen, why you don't have a brand give you 1,000 just for you to wear stuff in the music video? That's promo that you do. Or you guys are wearing Balenciaga for free in your music videos. Now listen, I'm gonna wear your stuff, I'm gonna call you first and tell you, hey, how much can you give me? And if you can't give me nothing because I'm nobody, I'm gonna go to a brand that knows me and tell them, hey, listen, you're a new stylist or whatever, I'd love to wear, let's do a collaboration. And it's interesting in our business how people are just focusing on either make beats or do shows and sing. They don't understand all the implication of all the money you can make as whatever your thing is, your industry is. If you are a cook and you are just doing a show where you are cooking, even if it's on YouTube, the brand of the knife you're gonna use, etc., all these things, people can pay for it. And that, listen, I never take the time to take care of my advertising stuff, but one day people will put their logo here because they will realize that, hey, listen, we want to be there. Let's say, I don't know, we want our brands there because these things stays on YouTube forever, etc. We want to be part of it. You see what I mean? And it's really a question of understanding how much you're worth in the market and using that. Thank you. We want to listen that you're gonna do featuring Elijah instrumental. Who's we? You are two people, or is you and ZL? Okay, you guys. Yeah, maybe I'll do a show where we listen to instrumentals. Bro, that's true. It's amazing. Can you imagine? Knocking your place on the food chain is an underrated skills. Many one-hit wonders lost their momentum by not understanding that. Acting bigger than you are costs you future revenue. That's so true. What up, Timo? You know, one day I was there was this new artist. Probably told the story before. There was this new artist, and he had the hit of the summer a few years ago. Hit of the summer. And listen, we were at a party, he was performing, nothing special. He did his show. He was very bad on stage, but always space to improve, right? And it was me plus 5 big artists there. And you know, we don't expect people to lick our ass or, you know, like act of, oh my God, us Kaysha. No, we don't care about that. But if you know that the legends that paved the way for you are here while you are performing, when you're done performing, you just come to our table and you say hi. You know, you pay your respect to, like, listen, if I go somewhere, Kasavi's there, or any artist, Kofi, like any artist that is older than me and paved the way for me to be here. After my show, the first thing I do after getting ready or whatever is go to their table and pay my respect and say, oh my God, it's an honor to be there. I hope you like the performance. And even they're all there and I have the song of the summer. I would go to these people and tell them, hey, I would love to do a song with all of you guys. Listen, you have the song of the summer. Nobody's going to say no, because this is a great way for us to stay relevant. The guy comes off the stage, and off the stage, he had his table there that they put him with his friends, and we were the first table he passed in front. And he didn't even stop. Him and his friend, they pass us our table like this, in the style of, yeah, it's us now. I remember looking at Nelson Freitas and telling him, 6 months. I give this guy 6 months before he disappears. And somebody sent me a PayPal. Somebody bought something from Shada. And 6 months later, he was gone. Smart musicians learn how to use their music brand as a leverage to make money elsewhere. Example, endorsement, merch, etc. Yep. Some of the things that I do. So maybe I'm smart. Well, listen. Let me transition because it's already 3 a.m. I want to show you the latest painting that I sold this morning. Again, very interestingly, the first time a collector has 2 of my brands. So it's Palis who bought the art before. So he bought that one called Puppet Master. He bought this art, and so he bought it for $1,000, and he wants to resell it for $15,000. Wow, I'd love him to do this because that would put value on my brand. He decided to offer himself this one, and this morning he bought it for almost $1,000 at its current price of now. And listen, beautiful. This art that I called Angelo. So he got it. So I'm super happy. On Foundation, which is the website where I sell my art, I think I only have this one is sold, this one is sold, this one is sold, this one is sold, and this one is sold. So I have 1, 2, 3 that are. I just did that one called The Pier. And I also did that one, which is to Hunter Chadwick Boseman after 1 year. So on that platform, those are the ones I did. And on OpenSea, um, which is the other, yeah, I have these two new ones recently created. I did those two. So I have this one called the Viking. So this one you can buy 10 of them. So I priced them lower to $200. And this is my latest one. I love it. I love this one. That's my latest one. And yeah, listen, I hope some people will collect them. This one is just one edition, so it's $400. Called it Cat in Hell. So yeah, I hope that some people will cop them. But yeah, my NFT game is getting nice, you know. Your NFTs are a connection to your creativity. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Before I go, I would love to talk to you about phone bills. I was on the phone with, was it Buddy Sadva? Yeah. This morning. And we were talking about how much we used to pay for the phone. And I ended up telling something to myself. That is true. I ended up saying to myself that I would love for all the money that I paid the mobile phone companies to use their service the last 15 years. I would love for that money to just come back to me. Because damn it, everything that a lot of people are enjoying for free, I'm realizing the road that we took to be there. I remember a time where I would pay 800 euros of phone bill every freaking month. And I would never understand how I would arrive to those prices, but I would arrive to those prices every month. And a lot of time when I would look at my bill, there would be a lot of SMS, a lot of MMS, and internet usage, etc., would cost me a lot of money and not that much the phone calls. And then, so when I moved to Portugal, yeah, it was still hard to control my phone bills because I was using the phone so much. And then came WhatsApp. And WhatsApp killed the business of all these people. And I would not call this the business. I would say that WhatsApp killed the exploitation that those people can still do more or less in Africa, but less and less. Because all of a sudden, as long as you had an internet connection, you were able to talk to people. I had a girlfriend, Brazilian, Natasha. She lived in French Guiana, so that's South America, back in 97, 98. And to be able to talk to her, and because of the time difference, so I think there's 6 hours less out there, to be able to talk to her, back in the days, I would have to leave my apartment, or my parents' apartment in Paris, and go to a phone booth with a card, a prepaid card, put the card in, call her at a time that we defined to talk. And that was back in the days. Then there was Skype. And I remember, thanks to Skype, long distance relationships stopped being so expensive, because you didn't have to pay for, you wanted to send a text, you could send a text. You wanted to, and you could talk on MSN, etc. And then if you wanted to talk to each other, you could talk via Skype. But WhatsApp killed all of these businesses. And I would love to receive all my money back. Because thanks to WhatsApp, I remember when we were kids, and my parents were, my dad was in politics, and went back in Congo, and we stayed in Paris. So when the parents would call, we would have to wait so that my dad and my mom speak to each one of us, and they would call once a week or twice a week, and we would have to sorry, something is. And we would have to wait in line, me and my brother and sister, to have dad talk to us like, hey, how are you? Da da da. You find a school, blah blah blah. What did you do? Blah blah. Yeah, da 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 da. And then my mom, and it would be like my family has always been like a long distance relationship, because my parents, at a point, they lived in France, then they moved back to Africa, then they moved to France, then they moved back to Africa. So but then if there was something important and urgent to talk with the parents, we would have to call in Congo. And first of all, you would have to hope that the conversation goes through, because the line was horrible back then. Once the conversation went through, then you had to speak fast, because trust me, every minute was like $10. And WhatsApp, listen, we can say all the things we want to say about Facebook, but WhatsApp, listen, every morning I send a message to my mom that says good morning, and one to my dad that says good morning, and they reply to me, and sometimes they send me a photo of what they're doing, and me, I send them a photo of taking my daughter to school. And every night I send good night to my mom or good night to my dad. And then you have the family group, when you say good morning to the brothers, the sisters, cousins, wives, etc. We have our family group, and then a few group with friends, and then we have the when I'm in another country, and my best friend Marcy lives in New York, and my other best friend Lumana lives in Paris, and when we have conversations, it's never less than 4 hours. And this used to cost a leg and an arm. And now we just WhatsApp or send vocal notes or send texts or send photos, or we can even call each other on video. This is amazing. This is something that we could not do before. And listen, WhatsApp, like, we can say what we want. People love to say, oh, I want to go to Telegram, I want to go. Listen, I tried all these apps, they're crap. I don't like them. They're not well programmed like WhatsApp is. And listen, if there's something I love to do, is using my WhatsApp and just talking to your family in the other side of the world. Listen, look, my son is in Angola. Back in the days, it would be letters because it cost too much money. Today, amazingly, today it's WhatsApp and the internet, because some people prefer using the DMs of Instagram. Some people prefer using the messenger of Facebook. Some people prefer Telegram. Some people prefer Signal. Some people are still on Skype. Some people might be still on MSN, whatever. But the means of communication, listen, they changed our life. I was on a long distance relationship before being with my wife, and thank God we had a Viber, because if not, these things cost a lot of money. And even if you stay local, and when I see how far we went in terms of the price of telecommunication, I'm amazed, because today I have a subscription that costs 34 euros per month, and everything is unlimited. Calls, SMS, MMS, and internet. Completely unlimited, unthrottled. And if you add that to having WhatsApp in your phone or YouTube, having WhatsApp on your phone and or a video conference app, it means that listen. There was my friend's. It was my friend's birthday. It was my friend's birthday, and we made her a surprise. We made a Zoom call. I think it was a Google Hangout, and we were able to all talk to her just like that. And this is something that I probably would have a lot of long distance relationship that would have been saved if it was not for this. Because back in the days, that was impossible. Back in the days, listen, sending letters, waiting 2 weeks for the letter to arrive, then another 2 weeks for the letter to come back. That's enough to kill a relationship. Whereas today, listen, sometimes if I'm in another country and my wife misses me, back when I was traveling and before COVID and stuff, I'm in Miami, she's in Lisbon, and she's about to go to sleep. I'm still, let's say, 6 hours earlier, so it's midnight here. It's 6 p.m. for me. She's like, "Can you stay with me until I fall asleep because we miss you?" Yeah, put the video. They would just put the video, and I would just be there, maybe watching TV and watching them fall asleep. And when they know they're sleeping, I could just hang out. Those are luxuries that are amazing today. But back in the days, you guys don't know how much we had to pay. WhatsApp saved me. I had to wait until the weekend to buy a long distance card to call my parents. And now we talk every day. Exactly what I was saying. We need our money back. Listen, those people took a lot of money from us. A lot of money. Let me see if my friend is available before I go. She must be busy. What time is it in New York? She must be working or celebrating. Yeah. She's sleeping or busy. Probably busy. Which phone service you're using right now in Portugal? I'm using Mail. I've never used something else. I've always been on Mail, but I had a prepaid that I used to put in like 15 euros a week. Every Monday I would put 15 euros, and I realized that I was not using that money. And then they told me that they had this new subscription for 34 or 39. I don't remember. I think it was 34 for the promo. You had unlimited everything. I was like, wait, what? Sign me in, and I also put my wife in there. So I think I have the big one, big one, which is 44 a month, and my wife has the 34. Perfect. And for my son, that was interesting as well. For my son, we took on mail as well. He had a internet only thing where you pay €1 and you have unlimited internet for 24 hours. So I paid them €50, and the whole length of his stay here, he arrived in 7th of July until so today. So he did 2 months. So for the €50, I think that when you buy the card is €20, and then I added €50, which was internet for free, unlimited for 24 hours. That's amazing. People don't realize how much all that shit cost back in the days. And now, for €1, you can have internet forever. Even in Miami, I remember 10 years ago, I would go to Miami. What would cost me a lot of money would be buying like 4 gigabytes of data. And now you can buy a card that works for 2 weeks, which is usually the time I stay in the US. A card that works for 2 weeks and has unlimited everything. And listen, once you have unlimited internet, you just can WhatsApp your way out of everything. So that's amazing. But listen, if you don't want me to fall asleep while I'm live, I'm gonna play you some nice music. And listen, that's all I had for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I wanted to make a long conversation about phone bills, but I ended up making a long conversation about live shows. So that was fun. I love the fact that we can still improvise subjects like that. Wednesday, we have a listening session. It's going to be a long one because we have to listen to 16 or 17 tracks. So that's going to be fun. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this episode 38, make sure to leave some rainbows in the chat and some fire or whatever. Don't forget that this show is brought to you by shadaware.com and the Gods of Good Fortune. And don't forget that you can find all the members of the Shada gang on YouTube. A lot of them are on YouTube already. We're still waiting for the rest. So 11th of September, we have the return of the Dalia show. You can find MG Wemoto on his YouTube channel live. He just did a video about the review of the Drake and Kanye's album. I would have talked about it, but maybe next time. I want to listen to them more. You can also go to the channel of Mountain of Inspiration, daily videos, and I don't know if it's daily live now, but daily videos where he gives you inspiration by using history to teach you some very valuable lessons. I enjoy the content. You can check that out. Julie, we are still waiting for your content, us, your fans. And I think that's it. Joel TV as well. You can go to Joel Amen TV for interesting tidbits about doing live streams. You can also subscribe to the Little Maro channel, where you can listen to some nice new music all the time. So yeah, that's where we are. And to leave you guys and to go get some really deserved sleep, because I woke up super early to help my son do his bag and stuff. Since tonight we were on a house music tip, I'm gonna leave you with, let me see, what can I play? Ooh, I'm gonna leave you with a track called Iwo Janamari Remix, and it's a track from Carmen Amaka, who's she's not just Nigerian, she's Nigerian and some other stuff. And it's my boy C-Mart who introduced me to her, and we did that song, and then I did a remix. So I'm gonna see you when I see you Wednesday. Everybody have a nice sleep, and see you soon.
Them no fit take you away from me. Them say you don't show what you there for me. Oh baby, don't you run away from me. 'Cause nobody there told me that, baby. We go there together forever, no matter the weather. Together forever, no matter the weather. I go there with you, oh. No matter the weather, yeah. I go there with you, oh. Stay together, yeah. You won't need more pain, won't need more pain, oh. You won't need more pain, won't need more pain. You won't need more pain, won't need more pain, oh. You won't need more pain, won't need more pain.
Taking me away from you. I'm gonna be right there, no matter what. Tell them haters they can talk about me as much as they want, and it won't change a thing. 'Cause we'll go together forever, no matter the weather. Together forever, no matter the weather. I'll go there with you, no matter the weather. We gon' stay together, no matter the weather.
If you get my heart, I go give it all to you. Do it all for you. Yeah, unconditional for you.
All I want is your heart, baby girl. Do it all for me. I will do it all for you.
Together forever, no matter the weather. Together forever.